Greed. It's a strong desire for more money or things, and it can make people do terrible things. Today we are looking at the top 5 murder mysteries where wanting more made people do very bad things. These stories are not just about crime, but also about people who lied, tricked others, and paid a big price for their greed. In this video, we will see lonely farmhouses, fancy mansions, and dark hallways where these things happened. From the spooky Hinterkaifeck murders to the scary story of the Menendez brothers, get ready for tales so strange they seem unreal. Let's uncover the dark stories of those who let their greed control their actions. On a cold night in March 1922, the Gruber family farm in Hinterkaifeck, Germany, became the scene of a scary mystery. Andreas Gruber, his wife, daughter, and grandchildren were found terribly murdered. People thought it was about money and inheritance because the family had a lot of money hidden on the farm. The creepy part of this story is what happened before the murders. Footsteps were heard in the attic, and things went missing, but no one saw an intruder. After the murders, the mysterious person stayed on the farm, feeding the animals and lighting fires. It seemed like the greedy killer wanted to take over everything the Gruber family had. Even after many investigations, the Hinterkaifeck murders are still unsolved. Greed made everyone suspicious and unsure of who did it. Was it a family member, a worker, or a stranger? The answers are hidden, just like the family's money, and we may never know the truth. As we hear this scary story, we wonder how far people will go for money. The Hinterkaifeck murders show us that greed can turn a normal place into a scary and sad one. In 1989, the rich neighborhood of Beverly Hills was shocked by the murders of Jose and Kitty Menendez, a wealthy couple who seemed to have a perfect life. At first, their sons, Lyle and Eric, were thought to be victims of a terrible crime. But as the police looked into it more, they found out something scary. The brothers had planned the murders because they wanted money. Lyle and Eric Menendez would get a lot of money after their parents died. The brothers started spending a lot of money, which made people suspicious and led the police to investigate more. They found out that the brothers had planned the murders to get away from their strict father and get the money. During the trial, the brothers tried to say they were abused to explain why they did it. But there was a lot of proof that showed they did it because they were greedy. The Menendez case was all over the news, showing how dangerous greed can be and what people will do for money. In the end, the brothers were found guilty of first-degree murder and were sent to prison for life. Their story reminds us that greed can make people do terrible things, even to their own family. In a peaceful place where people go to relax, a scary story of greed happened. The leader, loved by many, was hiding a dark secret. Behind the calm look, the guru planned the murder of a rich follower because he wanted to take their money. The follower, who trusted the guru, gave their money to the guru, thinking it would help others. But people started to get suspicious when the follower disappeared. Investigations showed it was a planned murder, done so the guru could keep the money. The case showed how trust was broken and greed took over. In court, the guru's followers argued against the evidence of betrayal. The greedy guru was found guilty, but the community and trust in spiritual leaders were hurt forever. This story shows that greed can ruin even the most peaceful places, turning them into places of lies and murder. The greedy guru's fall showed how dangerous unchecked ambition can be. The story of the Black Widow is about a woman who used marriage to kill people. Over many years, she married several men, then killed them to get their life insurance and inheritance money. She used her charm and tricks to make men fall for her, then trapped them in her deadly plan. Each time it was the same story: a fast romance, a quick wedding, and then a sudden mysterious death. The Black Widow was very clever and avoided getting caught for a long time. But as more men died, the police started to see a pattern and figured out her deadly plan. When she was finally arrested and put on trial, everyone saw how greedy she was. The courtroom was filled with sad families telling their stories, showing how her greed led her to do terrible things. The Black Widow's story shows how greed can ruin a person, turning love and marriage into reasons to kill. Her case is one of the most famous examples of how far someone will go to get money. In the world of rich people, fights over money can turn deadly. The story of the heiress and the hitman shows this clearly. A rich woman who was in a big fight over a lot of money decided to hire a hitman to get rid of her enemy. She planned everything very carefully, using her money to make sure nothing went wrong. The hitman promised a lot of money, did the job perfectly. But soon the police started to figure things out, finding clues that led to the rich woman. The trial was a big news story, with everyone talking about the rich woman's fancy life and her cold-hearted actions. The trial showed how wanting too much money can destroy people, as the rich woman's greed led to her downfall. The story of the heiress and the hitman reminds us how far some people will go to keep their money. It shows that greed, if not controlled, can make people do terrible things. These stories, full of greed and violence, show us how dark people can be. Wanting money too much can make people do crazy things, making them do things that are hard to understand. When we think about these stories, we see what happens when greed takes over. By looking at these scary tales, we learn more about people and how close we are to doing bad things. These stories teach us to be careful, honest, and balanced when we are tempted. Thanks for joining us to explore the dark side of human ambition. Be careful, stay alert, and remember, not everything that looks good is good.